What an absolutely wild morning full of shocking surprises. I never thought it was possible for me to get any taller at my age. I'm 27 and like the epiphyseal plates close at 20 and whatever. I didn't think it was possible to grow anymore. And I didn't. But I also didn't think it was possible for Elon Musk to just outright try and buy Twitter. And that seems to be happening right now. Today, Elon Musk put out a public statement with a real offer to buy Twitter, which was sent to Twitter at $54 a share. So coming out to roughly a $43 billion buyout of Twitter. I said publicly I don't think there's a chance Elon would ever try this. Not that I'm like Elon Musk's PR guy or his fucking therapist or whatever. I don't know him. It's not like a parasocial relationship. But this guy goes on Twitter and dank meme shit posts every day. I remember for a little while he was talking about buying Fortnite just to shut it down. Thinking about buying Santa's workshop and hiring all the elves to pump out Teslas for all the good boys and girls in the world. He makes posts like that all the time, like, yeah, I might just buy this, might just go ahead and take control of this. And he never does or anything, so when he initially made the tweet saying, yeah, I might just buy Twitter, why not, fuck it. No one really took it seriously, myself included. I swear to God, Elon Musk took a puff of a joint one time on Rogan, and that changed his life, it feels like. Because from that moment, he just started going like a little hard here, getting a bit wacky. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow he makes an offer to try and buy heaven from God. But anyway, no one took him seriously when he's like, yeah, I might buy Twitter. And then he made a power move and got 9% of Twitter for like $3 billion or whatever that was, which I guess is just pennies to him. He's wiping his ass with $3 billion, so that was meaningless. And I thought that's where the story would end, that's where the anime wraps up, but then he went full-blown anime protagonist here by just saying, you know what, I want the whole company. I'm not done with you yet. So he makes a formal offer for a crazy price at $43-ish billion, because he wants to make it better for free speech and improve the platform overall and take it private because he doesn't want the company public anymore. And it's just truly wild. Now, what I find to be the most interesting part of it is the way that he's doing it with a very public statement. It feels like he made a twitlonger to buy the website. When I first started reading it, I thought I was looking at a fucking YouTuber apology or like drama between internet creators. Let's go ahead and read it. I invested in Twitter as I believe in its potential to be a platform for free speech around the globe, and I believe free speech is a societal imperative for a functioning democracy. However, since making my investment, I now realize the company will neither thrive nor serve the societal imperative in its current form. Twitter needs to be transformed as a private company. As a result, I am offering to buy 100% of Twitter for $54.20 per share in cash, a 54% premium over the day before I began investing in Twitter, and a 38% premium over the day before my investment was publicly announced. My offer is my best and final offer, and if it is not accepted, I would need to reconsider my position as a shareholder. Twitter has extraordinary potential. I will unlock it. My man's out here sounding like Dr. Robotnik after the Chaos Emeralds, talking about unlocking its full power. Now, it's not as goofy as it sounds, him offering to buy Twitter like this, because he does have 9% stake in the company, and this statement he put out is, it's kind of going nuts to butts. He's saying, you know, if you don't accept this, I'll have to reconsider being a shareholder. He's their biggest shareholder. So if he sells off all of his stock, it's going to tank Twitter's price. It's going to be pretty devastating if Elon just decided, oh, they haven't accepted my offer. Eat this, suck on my cock. Here's my dick and balls, and sells all 9% of his shares. That's not good for a company's stock price. But it is good for Elon. I'm a dumb troglodyte and not super smart when it comes to these things, so in my eyes it seems like he put his ass in their asshole, where even if they don't accept his offer, he just gets to sell his stock and make money off of that, which is good for him, or they accept his offer and he gets the platform that he's been fucking addicted to for the last few years. This guy posts more on Twitter than a 16-year-old girl, so I mean he gets to have his dream platform under his belt and do with it what he wants. I don't exactly know what he's going to do to make Twitter better, if such a thing is even possible, but I also don't think he can make it worse. I imagine it's just going to be exactly the same as it is right now, but I've been wrong millions of times before. Maybe he's going to change Twitter where you log in and get free fucking ice cream. I couldn't tell you. But from the perspective of a little reptile brain idiot like me, it seems like no matter what Twitter decides to do here, Elon Musk wins. He either gets Twitter or gets a big payday when selling the stock. But you know who never wins with an Elon Musk tweet? Gab. On every single tweet Elon makes, I see fucking Gab make a desperate post for Elon to notice them. Gab is supposed to be a free speech alternative to Twitter or some shit, but every time I've checked out their website for even a fucking millisecond, the top posts are either QAnon conspiracies or just actual racism, and the comments just have a lot of people using the N-word. I don't know if that's the entire community, it's probably not representative of the entire Gab group, but Jesus Christ, it is fucking weird. And I really feel like every single time I see Elon tweet, Gab is just beneath them replying to it, either begging for some kind of attention or recognition from Big Daddy Elon, or begging for investment. So when Elon made this offer tweet where he goes through like trying to buy Twitter, Gab made their offer to Elon saying, this is all a bunch of hogwash. This is garbage, Elon. How about you sell your Twitter stock and then invest $2 billion into Gab and we'll take the world over? And it's just so desperate. And then he even signed, it comes from their CEO, and then he even signed it at the bottom with Jesus Christ is King. Even the Gab community wasn't excited about it. You can read some of these posts talking about like the relationship between Elon and Jesus Christ isn't strong enough, and about a transhuman agenda to build a prison planet. And then, of course, going right into the N-word, and then microchips in people's brains and shit. So not even the Gab community was excited about another desperate post from their CEO begging to suckle a little bit of milk out of Elon's bosom. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly at least mention that Gab part of this, because they are always in the replies to everything Elon does, and it's so sad. And not just them. NFT crypto bros, in every Elon tweet, they are begging for Elon to mention their shitcoin or their NFT project. Like, hey Elon, what do you think about this dolphin butthole? Is this the next big NFT craze? Or like attributing a quote to Elon where it's like, in quotes, this is the best NFT ever made, Elon Musk. Thanks Elon for the endorsement from some garbage crypto thing. It is always in his replies now since the whole Dogecoin shit. It's wild. I don't know how there is so little shame on Twitter. But anyway, I just wanted to at least mention those two things briefly. So the whole situation is wild with Elon attempting to buy Twitter. I think even if successful and he gets Twitter, I don't think anything changes with the platform. I don't know what he could possibly fucking do to make the platform any less of a giant cesspool than it currently is. But, I mean, good luck, I suppose. To me, it just seems like he's throwing $43 billion or $41 billion. I actually can't tell because a lot of different places are reporting a different number. Between $41 and $43 billion, it just seems like he's flushing it down the toilet. And it's the grossest, filthiest toilet imaginable since it's Twitter. But, yeah, anyway, just wanted to at least talk about it since it's such a crazy topic. That's about it. See ya. Let me go ahead and ease your worry. Don't panic. I haven't fallen off the wagon. I'm not back to the addiction of clowning on Twitter / Elon Musk and a lot of the unbelievable cringe that he indulges in. That's not the purpose of the video today. I know I've made a lot of videos about that platform, X, formerly known as Twitter, which no one calls it X for good reason. It's an absolutely atrocious name. I'm already getting off on a tangent here because they're making fun of Twitter is more addictive than heroin and Magic the Gathering card collecting. Like, there's just something about it. It just feels so good to insult, to spit on it. But, again, that's not what I'm doing today. So don't worry, I made you a solemn vow, a promise, that I wouldn't just keep making fun of that platform. I want to talk about what they're trying to do right now with streaming because I legitimately do think it is a good thing. But we are still going to sprinkle on some seasoning here of some insults because the very first test stream for Elon Musk on Twitter did not go overly well. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, Elon Musk has been making a big hoopla about making Twitter a strong streaming platform. He really wants it to be this all-encompassing hub for content, to keep you hooked like cigarettes. So it'll have a little bit of everything, and that includes gaming streams. So in order to test it, he went live last night to do some Diablo 4 runs. And boy howdy, it didn't go swimmingly, I'd say. I got to watch most of it unfold live on stream last night with Matt and Danny, and it was a confusing mess of a stream, but I do think the idea of bringing streaming to Twitter is a solid idea. I have long been an outspoken advocate for competition, and in the streaming space, it's been mainly dominated by Twitch for a long time. Of course, they've been floundering a little bit here. Unfortunately, SpongeBob has been whipping up some nasty patties of some ideas at the Twitch headquarters, so they haven't been really crushing it at the top, which has led to the rise of other competitors that are legitimately popping off. Like, they're not nearly to Twitch's level, but they are competitive in the market. So things like Kick, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, not so much. Facebook is a place where streaming goes to die. That's just kind of like a sad, pathetic joke of a streaming platform, but it does exist and it does pull some numbers. Point is, streaming has become far more competitive over the last couple of years, and now Twitter is looking to have a strong streaming competitor as well. And overall, I just think it's a good thing because as more competition arises, it forces all of the other platforms to improve. So mainly YouTube and Twitch, which are the two biggest. If there's more competition out there, there's more reason for them to improve their service. So overall, competition is always the best thing for consumers. So even though the first stream was rocky and Elon Musk is the furthest thing from a streamer, it at least is a proof of concept that shows that they do want to actually make streaming prevalent on the site, which again, I think is helpful to the entire streaming ecosystem because then the top dogs can't just endlessly coast and, you know, stagnate and refuse to improve their platform. They'll need to, hopefully, assuming Twitter becomes a legitimate competitor with streaming. So let's go ahead and take a look at how Elon's first stream unfolded, because it's a bit of a head scratcher.
The candle's the size of him.
That is a massive candle. That looks like something out of Dark Souls.
What is that?
That's cool. I kind of want one.
That's like...
We're going to watch his house burn down in real time.
He, like, told his assistant he wanted a candle, and they were like, how much should it cost? And he was like, I don't know, $45,000. Like, okay.
How much do candles go for? Like $400? That should be good enough. Breathing directly into the mic now.
Yep. 5-foot candle. Let's see.
He's actively trying to suck all the oxygen out of the room.
God damn, these are big.
This looks like a satanic ritual room.
It really does.
There's nothing on the walls. It's just empty with a giant candle.
He's really breathing into that mic.
He fixed the flicker, though, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the flicker is not fixed. It was just in the pause screen.
Yeah.
It's back.
Where is chat on Twitter streaming?
I'm watching on my phone. If you just go vertical, you can see it at the bottom, but it's off. Chat is off.
Oh, it's off. Oh, he turned chat off.
Yeah, he's a coward.
Oh, yeah, he wouldn't want to get bullied. That's like his worst nightmare. Why is he streaming this right now?
I don't know.
Why is he doing this?
How tall is a standard desk? On a table? It definitely is not. It's 100% not on a table. You can see it right now.
Table, yeah.
Yeah, it goes all the way to the ground. And then the question is there a mirror behind him, or is there a second massive
He's got rooms of candles.
God. When there's not a flashbang on his face, this actually looks like dark and darker.
It looks so demonic.
It's dungeon-esque.
Somebody said with the lights on, homie, he looks like he's in the presence of a deity.
Just watch a YouTube tutorial, Elon. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, please. Do anything. The first thing everybody yells is turn off VSync. Try that. Or turn it on.
I think it's just his OBS settings. He just said OBS, I'm pretty sure. I think it's just the settings.
I just wonder why it's not happening in menu.
That's okay, I guess.
Oh, good question.
That shit is so bad.
See, like, it's not even on his inventory. It's just the game.
Good point.
It's weird. Elon, give me in there.
You know what he probably did? He probably set his bitrate to like 40,000 or some shit.
Oh, so I can't handle.
Yeah, so now it's kind of cooking it.
So I'll like just look at the replies to the live post and just occasionally
Sir.
What was that statement? What the fuck?
That was not a complete sentence. What was that?
It sounded like he casted a spell.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be a speed run, right?
I don't know.
I think that's what he was advertising.
Oh my god. I just got fragged by a bloodlister.
Wow.
Well then, the first mob. What a speed run.
Oh, his name is I Will Never Die.
There we go. Now he's moving.
Cooking.
There we go. He had to get the wiggles out.
Yeah, it's his first time live streaming. He's got a big audience. He was nervous.
Yeah. And since it's dark in here, you can't even see the flickering that much.
That's true.
Oh, he's dead. Oh, wow.
That would have been awful if you died back-to-back times on this one mob.
This might be a bit of a grind.
All in all, the stream lasted about 40 minutes. It was a tech test. At the end, he was talking about how there's a lot to improve, but overall was just kind of working the bugs out. Now, he himself isn't the most amazing streamer. There was no chat, so he couldn't interact with anyone or anything, and he didn't really make any conversation on his own or even really talk. Most of the first 20 minutes was spent with him face down, buried in his phone. Like, he looked like me back in high school at prom, just like on the side of the wall, like just looking at my phone and nothing else. Like, it was just really insufferably boring just watching him struggle in Diablo and then not say anything at all, just kind of stare blankly at it and occasionally go, and that was about it. But he doesn't claim to be a good streamer, right? He's not out here trying to start his streaming career or anything. This really seemed like it was supposed to be a tech test. I just wish he had at least done the bare minimum beforehand to just make sure that he got his settings correct, because you could have probably found that flicker through just recording before going live and could have fixed it, because that was just unwatchable. That flicker was legitimately giving me a headache. And I'm not even like sensitive to that kind of stuff, but it was just so aggressive, like it was just making me disoriented. And you could have probably massaged that issue out before ever going live. Like, I don't think that just spontaneously happened when he clicked start stream. He probably could have figured it out through just a recording. But other than that, I do legitimately think it is a good idea for Twitter to offer streaming, just because I do like when there's more competition in the space. And since we've seen so many other streaming platforms that are performing well, it shows that there is room in the market for more competitors, which again just makes the entire industry more competitive, which makes everything better, because they have to be better in order to stay competitive. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit. I guess we'll see where streaming's at in a year from now on Twitter. Maybe they never actually get it together or make it super functional or super great, or maybe they do and it becomes a legitimate competitor in the industry. We'll see. That's about it. See ya. Lord, forgive me because I'm about to sin again. I have sworn time and time again that I would do my best to resist making fun of the platform formerly known as Twitter, but I can't help myself. They keep giving me little layups that I can't help but just finish at the rim on. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I just made a video making fun of the Twitter rebrand. It's now just called X, the letter X and nothing else, which, as I said, is very embarrassing because it sounds like something on Xbox Live in a Call of Duty lobby from 2009 where every 12-year-old thought having X's in their name was cool, and I thought I had finally got it all out of my system. There's no more jokes left to make about this low-hanging fruit. Until just now, with breaking news, they released their new official tagline, and I couldn't believe it. My jaw was literally on the floor. I was more stunned by this tagline than I was with the ending to Inception when I first watched it. I shit you not. The report said that their tagline was "Blaze Your Glory." And I didn't believe them at first. I thought this was propaganda because surely no one is that uncool. What does this even mean? Blaze your glory. That sounds like a meaningless nothing burger that an anime protagonist would have shouted in a 2004 throwaway anime. I just can't believe someone could be this lame. I don't think evolution would allow for someone to be this uncool. We didn't evolve over the course of millions of years to reach a point where someone has made it to the apotheosis of cringe. I just don't believe we're there yet. Yet, all of the evidence points to the contrary. Elon Musk might legitimately be the lamest person to ever exist to think that this is cool. Blaze your glory. What does that even mean? It sounds like a sexual euphemism, like, oh, fuck, I'm up late, lotion on my hands, and I'm blazing my glory right now. I actually went to the App Store to check this for myself because I thought I was being lied to. I couldn't believe we existed in such a cursed dimension that would allow someone to think that this was cool. But it's true, it's real. That is the tagline for the platform formerly known as Twitter. It is "Blaze your glory. That is worse than those old Discord cringe messages that would pop up when you try and launch the program where it was like, calculating RAR meme threshold, need to construct additional pylons for optimal memeing, quick get to cover, Wumpus is a fire in his laser. Watch out, Springle just deleted all your base no longer belong to us. That old garbage, this is worse. Blaze Your Glory is like 50 times worse. I have legitimately been giggling about this for at least 10 minutes, which is why I'm making a whole video once again making fun of this platform, even though I have sworn that I would stop, like, control myself, the urge, but I can't fight it. It's like that scene in Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves, where he gets tied up by the two girls, and he's like, I didn't fuck you, you fucked me! You came into my house and you sucked my cock! You sucked my dick. It was free pizza. That's how I feel right now. This is free pizza. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how could I not make fun of this? My glory is blazing just thinking about this shit. It's so wild to me. And I really just can't get over his obsession with the letter X. He named one of their fucking children X. And then a couple of other letters here that he must have seen during like a Steam Guard check to make sure that you're not a robot. Like, I understand that it has some kind of connotation with some kind of fighter jet or something, but once again, it's probably chosen by Elon Musk just because the letter X is in it. And for fucking 20 years now, over 2 decades, he's wanted X.com. Like, he wanted that to be PayPal originally. They shot that down for obvious reason because very clearly it seems like a porn site. But now he's got fucking full reign, unthrottled, uncircumcised, and unhinged. So he's got X and he's letting it all rip. There is no one but yes men surrounding Elon Musk just saying, go wild, brother. And he is. The glory will not stop being set ablaze right now at the X headquarters. Just a few nights ago, they set up some kind of X sign, like a light beaming off of a sign to the building, like it was the goddamn bat signal, but for fucking cringe. It was just like the letter X on a building. It looked horrible. It was disruptive. It was awful. It is just a non-stop roller coaster of embarrassment. I really don't know how it's possible to be that uncool. Like, it's incomprehensible to me. I grew up as a fucking loser, a weirdo, for sure. But even I would know that this is so embarrassing. My cheeks would never stop being red. I would never show my face out of shame. I would legitimately be in a paper bag for the rest of my life. I wouldn't let people see my face if I was the guy that kept doing this shit with X and Blaze Your Glory. The shame would just be far too much to even put into words. I just... I can't help but make fun of it. I really can't. It's begging for it. I think there is a chance Elon Musk has some kind of humiliation fetish. Like, the more people say that it's lame, the more he wants to be insulted for it, it feels like. This seems deliberate. This can't be accidental. No one is this accidentally uncool. It's a plague because it's infecting other people into being just as lame. There's a lot of people that will just defend anything Elon Musk does with the platform, and then get mad when people make fun of it. So it's not just him, he is infecting and spreading the lame virus. He's like the Axe body spray for online losers, where a lot of people will flock to him as like this group feeling of being like successful and cool, and like they're always going to battle for their leader Elon Musk, which makes no sense. Again, I don't really care about Twitter's success or its failure. I'm just laughing at the goofy decisions made along the way. So I'm just going to bring up one tweet here. It's not even this person in particular I have a problem with or anything. This is just the general attitude about how when I make fun of it, I'm just coping with the success of Twitter under the leadership of Elon Musk. I don't give a fuck. If Twitter burns to the ground tomorrow, I don't care. If it's 20 times more successful tomorrow, I don't care. I think the platform sucks. I'd prefer if it was in the dirt, buried 6 feet under. I think it's been a net negative for the entire world, but overall, its presence isn't something that disturbs me or makes me upset. I'm not coping with its success. I'm making fun of it. So even if it's 20 times more successful tomorrow, I will still make fun of it. You know what else is extremely successful? Selling soiled, used panties online to degenerates. I'll make fun of that too, but it is successful. It's very successful. A lot of women make a ton of money doing that. But just like X, Blaze Your Glory, it's something to laugh at because it's so fucking silly. It's so goofy. So no, this has nothing to do with jealousy over a platform's success or its failure or anything. It is just legitimately comical nonsense along the way that is something to point and laugh at as a spectacle and shoot some spitballs at. It's a circus, and the clowns are dancing, honking their nose and making me giggle. It's just not that deep. There's really nothing to psychoanalyze here. You don't need to be holding up Rorschachs to me in order to get down to the bottom of it. It's just super simple. So just stop being so upset when people make fun of some goofy shit like this. Keep your glory blazing, take a step back, and share in the laughs. It's just that simple. You're not on the board of directors or anything. You don't have any, like, actual investment into the company, so whether it's successful or it's not, it shouldn't matter to you. Just have fun. Like, just enjoy the silly ride that we're all on here with watching all of these goofy things unfold in front of us. Maybe it'll end up making the platform 1,000 times more successful and becomes extremely profitable. And maybe, 10 years from now, Blaze Your Glories on t-shirts. It's even got its own little mascot, like fucking Ultra Lord out of Jimmy Neutron, the Glory Blazer or something. Like, maybe it's the biggest thing in the world, but it will still always be a fucking goofy, uncool thing. Always worthy of being joked about. But anyway, I won't go on too much longer about it. That's really about it. May your glory be forever ablaze, my ex-friends. That's about it. So yeah. I really didn't think Twitter would ever have a stupider idea than super follows, that paid monthly subscription to your favorite Twitter account. I thought that was going to be like the magnum opus of incompetence for the site. But Elon Musk took over now, and his neurons are working overtime. He's rubbing the Dogecoins in his brain together and creating some absolute insanity when it comes to bad ideas for monetization. So let's talk about his new $8 a month subscription for check marks on Twitter. Elon Musk has only been the head of it for like less than a week and is already proving me wrong. I said he wouldn't make like any change whatsoever. It'd say exactly the same. But dude is fucking cleaning house at the company and implementing some absolute brain-dead ideas. So I'm sure you guys all saw, he's looking to charge like $20 a month for verification. After Stephen King's like, nah, I'm out, he started haggling with Stephen King in this public embarrassment, like a humiliation fetish from Elon Musk. He's like, oh bro, but what about $8 a month? So now he's rolling with $8 a month. Here, actually, I'll just pull up the tweet so you can read it. He like starts groveling at Stephen King's feet. Like, no, what do you mean you're leaving? Yeah, we need to pay the bills somehow. Twitter cannot rely entirely on advertisers. How about $8? I don't know how he wasn't embarrassed posting that publicly. That's so shameless. But yeah, so that's the idea, charging $8 to keep the check mark, as well as opening it up to anyone who can pay $8 a month and have a check mark. Oh, here it is. Lords and peasant system, power to the people for $8 a month. So I think most people can sniff out some problems right away with the idea, and Elon Musk himself. So Rubius point this out. What happens when a random user pays $8, changes his display name to Elon Musk using your same profile pic, starts tweeting like you, verified checks exist so people know they follow the real person. He doesn't even address that, he just said it already happens, which he's just blatantly wrong about. There's currently, at least not from the last time I checked, which was 2 hours ago, there is no verified Elon Musk scamming accounts, but there are people like impersonating him without the check mark. Whereas this can have verified scammers. But regardless, not even the biggest takeaway here. I think anyone who pays $8 for a check mark is an absolute certified fucking loser. It should only be used by like companies maybe. I could see that like companies or businesses wanting it. Individuals, I think that shit is trash. Like you are basically just begging to be bullied. Like, that's like an elevated chat, but on Twitter. That's just a -8 in every reply. I would not take a check mark from anyone seriously anymore. It would be too embarrassing. But yeah, his whole thing is like, it's going to... Actually, here, let me just pull it up instead of put words in his mouth. Here. You get priority in replies, mentions, and searches, which is essential to defeat spam and scams. Which I cannot believe he's that out of touch. This will only increase that because anyone can do it now. So now you can have verified scams, which are going to take priority in the replies and in the searches. I'm not paying $8 a month for the checkmark, I'll tell you right now. That is no shot. That is so dumb. It is more productive to burn your $8 a month. You are getting no value from it. So when that happens, there'll be like 1,000 moist criticals everywhere, and they will all be in the priority scamming people. So it's only going to increase that problem. And you don't even get an ad-free experience, you just get half as many ads. So imagine paying $8 a month for a stupid little Boy Scout badge and then still getting ads. How silly. This is like actual pay pig behavior where you just pay someone to get nothing in return except insults. $8 for a check mark. I see why he's doing it, because now he just paid $44 billion for this pile of shit and there is no way it's making money, not even close, so he's just scrapping together every shitty idea to try and squeeze a little money into it. And he also has a problem right now where advertisers are pulling out. So not only is he losing all of his, like, members in the company, the employees that he's firing en masse, but the advertisers themselves are starting to pull out because they have no faith in Elon actually steering the ship. So he can't rely on them anymore, which he publicly admits to Stephen King. So he's just trying everything to make something back on this absolute massive shitpost that was so costly. Man made a $44 billion joke and is starting to regret it like a Darman video. This shit is super follows on crack. Oh, that is such a... I keep forgetting about super chats. Like, super chats is absolutely inviting wedgies into your life. If you are... sorry, super follows. Super follows invites, like, actual swirlies in the bathroom from the football team. If anyone sees that you are a super follower of someone on Twitch, you will never hear the end of it. You are gonna be absolutely bullied on Twitter forever. So, people don't do it. You never see super followers. Because you're paying for fucking nothing. And that is exactly what the checkmark's about to be with the $8 a month. It's so beautiful. I want to quickly explain super follows a bit more, since I'm aware that most of you probably don't even know what it is. It's a system Twitter rolled out where you can do a monthly paid subscription to your favorite Twitter accounts, and you get like a little badge that highlights that you're a super follower publicly, so you can stand out in conversation, and you get bonus tweets. You probably haven't seen any super followers because no one uses it because it's downright embarrassing. This is just like going out in public and asking to be spit on. If someone sees you're a super follower on Twitter, good luck having anything you're talking about be taken seriously. And this is what I feel the checkmark will become with this new system if it goes into place. Because you're paying for nothing, and it publicly shows that you are wasting your money. So of course you're just going to be insulted for it, and I think that's going to be a deterrent for people buying it. Like, I just don't see why anyone would, when you don't get anything in return for it except for a public badge that lets people know you're wasting your money. Oh, to all complainers, please continue complaining, but it'll cost $8. Fucking epic. That's a fat own right there, noobs, from the mastermind of memes. Let that sink in. I mean, I wish he would have just shut it down. Maybe this is like a long-term play to like slowly wean people off of it, which would be pretty big brain. But it would have been better if he just like, yeah, I regret it, I'm shutting it down. That would have been fantastic. But now he's just gonna go out sad here with this one. Just a way to make money. Yeah, it's a desperate way of making money. One that I don't see going super well. The only people that are gonna use it are people that do it to troll or scam. Why the fuck is a normal person gonna care about having a checkmark on their name? Yeah, I'm Biff Cheeseburger from North Baptist University. I want to be verified on Twitter. I'll pay $8 a month for it. I saw, like, even the Elon meat writers that pretty much support everything are kind of scratching their heads here. Because for $8 a month, you're getting nothing. You get priority in replies, yeehaw, so you can say L+ ratio quicker than most people and have it at the top. Like, you don't get anything out of that subscription. They keep comparing it to things like Netflix or Hulu subs, but think of all the content you get from anything else with a subscription. Fucking RuneScape, you get an entire thousands hours worth of gameplay. World of Warcraft, and then any streaming service ever. You get fucking tons of content. On Twitter, you get a checkmark, you get a badge. It's worthless. Like, if it was a one-time payment, I could see some people doing it, but a subscription, a monthly subscription to have that, nobody's doing that, except for businesses, maybe. No shot. And you don't even get an ad-free experience, so it's even worse than, like, anything else, like, alternative. O.J. Simpson finally getting his checkmark. True! O.J. Simpson made that post to Elon. Now that Elon's got Twitter under his control, maybe now I can get verified. And he can for only $8. So we finally got the real OJ with that check mark. You can be like OJ Simpson on Twitter. Let's go. Fucking huge. So I can make fake government accounts for only $8. We were talking about this on the podcast, and someone in the chat made like a really fun suggestion of just impersonating foreign policy, like higher ups, because you can do this infinitely, right? Even if you have to verify via photo ID and you get banned for impersonation, you can just do it again. You can just keep doing this over and over again and keep changing your handle to like anyone with a position of power and just going fucking hog wild. He said the $8 will help fund content creators. Is there any info on this? Oh yeah, he did say that. No, that just seems like buzzwords to get people more on his side because people love that kind of sentiment. I don't know how the fuck that's going to fund content creators on Twitter. Like, what the fuck is a Twitter content creator? Like, just anyone with a big following on Twitter? I think the payable verification at this point is meant to reduce bots and not meant to signify that an account belongs to a public figure. Yeah, but it's not going to stop anything with bots or scams or anything. Because it's open to anyone. You can just pay $8 a month. It's just going to be a little costly to promote your scams, but you're going to get more out of it because it's going to fool more people because of the check mark. And since it floats to the top of the replies now, and since it's going to be the first things that come up when you search things, scams are going to be much more prevalent. Assuming it goes as he has it stated so far. Maybe he has fail-safes in mind, but he certainly hasn't said that yet. How will this stop bots? Bots already exist now, and when you implement buying verification, you'll have the same bots plus easily verified bots. I don't know, like, he's not very in touch. It doesn't, like, I don't see how this stops spam or bots. It seems to me to only increase spam and scams, but I guess we'll see. Like, it doesn't seem to stop bots. The bots are still there, and now some of them can be verified. I don't like talking about Twitter. I want to make that very clear. Even just saying the word Twitter burns my mouth leaving it. It feels awful, like I'm gargling sewage. But I just can't resist. The platform has become a factory of goofs. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but instead of producing candy, it produces the weirdest ideas ever. How can I resist pure, refined silliness like Twitter's decision-making process? Every time I swear I'm done talking about Twitter, they announce something that drags me back in. I'm like a drug addict that just keeps falling off the wagon again. They just keep putting the heroin in my veins. But honestly, laughing at Twitter has become a harder drug than anything currently out there. It's baffling. So, I'm sure all of you saw by now, Elon Musk has announced that Twitter is being rebranded as X. Just X. It's not short for anything, it's not part of anything, it's just the single letter, X. And I swear to God, Elon Musk has been more obsessed with the letter X than a pirate looking at a treasure map, because for at least 2 decades now, he's had that on his brain. Apparently, the original name he wanted for PayPal was X.com. And he has squatted on that, looking at it as some kind of nugget of genius for over 2 decades, and he has dusted it off. And right now, X.com currently redirects to Twitter. So I'm guessing that's going to be the new domain, since he recently did buy it back. Now, obviously, X.com looks like a porn site, but I guess that doesn't matter to him because X is just super cool in his eyes, which I think proves that he has to be one of the most uncool people on the planet. Being obsessed with the letter X is like something a 12-year-old on Xbox Live when choosing their gamer tag does. But I will say, in his other company, SpaceX, the X looks good because it's part of something. It's not just X on its own, it is part of something else. So it actually looks cool. I think SpaceX is a great name. And not only that, he even named his own baby X. Well, at least part of his name is X. It's X and then a random captcha here. I think it's supposed to be like a plane or something, I already forgot. But it's very clear Elon Musk loves the letter X, more so than Xander Cage in the XXX movies. Like, this is wild. Not only because, obviously, it's very wacky, it's very, very wacky. Like, the dial went from silly all the way to wacky and then kept going, teetering all the way on bonkers territory with this decision. Because Twitter is one of the most recognizable brand names on the planet. One of the most recognizable brands ever, really, probably. And now Elon Musk has executed the bird, getting rid of the bird. It is transitioning over to X now. Here's what the logo looks like. I think it very much looks like something out of the Call of Duty game battle scene from way back in the day. It looks like one of those really quickly put together emblems. But this is the future here. The bird has been put down. Like Elmer Fudd, but instead of hunting rabbits, he was hunting birds here. It's just so weird, because this is going to be the worst SEO ever. X. Like, searching up X is just going to be fucking awful trying to get to where you want to go. It's also just a horrible name in general that just sounds super lame and embarrassing. And it's even weirder considering how Twitter had spawned its own terminology for when you send out short sentences on the platform. They're tweets. They're retweets when you post them back on your page from someone else's page. When you post videos on Twitter, you reference them as Twitter videos. So what a lot of people have pointed out under this change, when you're referencing videos on X, you're going to call them X videos. And those of you who know, X videos is the biggest porn site in the world. So it's going to be real confusing real quick. And also, what's the new term going to be for when you tweet? You're sending an X. Or I'm going to re-X this. Or did you look at my X's. Which is just so fucking embarrassing to say. That's even worse than saying tweet and Twitter and retweet. It's the worst terminology imaginable, if that is the direction they go. I'm still not fully convinced that this is anything more than just a gag from Elon Musk. I feel like this is just one of his classic shitposty things where he thinks it's like enjoyable for some length of time and then he says I'm done playing with this toy and forgets about it. I don't know if he's actually going to do this. It would be a really dumb decision too, because again, you bought one of the most recognizable brands ever, and now you're just completely changing the brand name and brand identity. What's the point? All of the hard work of brand building was done for you. You had the easiest part of the brand building process. It was already a juggernaut of a brand. Why are you going back to try and start over with a new brand and a much worse name and a much worse identity that people are already laughing at? It just doesn't make sense. So I feel like he probably won't actually go through with this if it is an idea he's toying around with. I feel like this is just going to be a short period thing that he's kicking around and maybe goofing a bit with. But I guess we'll see. He's made some inexplicably odd decisions with Twitter so far, so I guess it is possible. Clearly, I don't think this is going to kill Twitter, or, sorry, the platform formerly known as Twitter. I don't think everyone's just going to stop using it because the name is shitty, but it's just such a weird thing to do. It doesn't make any sense. It's such a counterintuitive decision. This isn't going to help it become profitable, which I think is like the main goal right now since it bleeds so much money and is so fucking directionless. This is only going to set it back in that direction because now you're going to have to like repitch all of the major brands on why they should work with X, which again is going to be easily confused for pornography. Often, which is going to make it very hard to work with other brands, I would think. Let me give you a great example, because I have a first-hand account of this. Our esports team is named Moist. That's a bit of an odd word. That's a bit of a yucky word. But that's not even, like, something that can be conflated to porn easily. It's just one of those words that makes you feel a little icky. It's just one of those words that makes you raise an eyebrow. And just because of that, there have been many, many brands that don't really want to work with us just because of the name, and solely because of the name. Imagine now with X, a brand name that if you make one typo immediately takes you to porn, is extremely hard to find through just search engine optimization. It's just going to be a hard thing to get across. Brands are probably going to be a little apprehensive about it, I would think. Assuming, of course, the logic carries over and remains consistent, I think X is a significantly harder to sell name than Moist. But that's just me, and of course that's not exactly the most unbiased judgment there. I've definitely got a horse in this race, but it does seem like X is a much worse name for brands to work with. Just going off of basic common sense here. Now, to me, it's still not entirely clear if he's truly committed to removing Twitter and the bird from everything on the platform and really just diving in deep, cannonballing into the X pool and rebranding fully to that entirely. But according to this article, and according to a Threads post from platformer managing editor Zoe Scheifer, according to her, she says that Twitter's business was already renamed X Corp, and that he said that their email last night would be the last time he emails them from that company address. It would now be fully X Corp. I didn't know that he had renamed Twitter Business on the inside to X Corp. That is so fucking lame. Like, if you're going to do this, just choose a cool name. Like, it really does feel like I'm back on Xbox Live when I was 11 years old, going by the name Fast Fighter, and playing with my friends that had X's in their names everywhere because they thought it was the coolest shit ever. How the fuck is this an adult man who is this obsessed with just the letter X? I don't get it. If you're going to go through all of these hoops and rebrand Twitter, whatever, choose a cooler name. Like, just choose something that sounds cool or is just better overall. X is so embarrassing. Going on Twitter right now is already shameful enough, and this is just going to make it be even more miserable. Having to say that you went on X and read a couple of X's or saw the videos posted on X or whatever. It's just, it's so dumb. Yeah, I just had to talk about it. I couldn't resist. It's just so weird. It's such a weird decision. That's really about it. See ya. I know I've talked a ton about Twitter recently since Elon Musk took over, but I just can't help it. It is so entertaining to see all of this silliness unfold. It's become my go-to soap opera. I'm more captivated by this than I was Better Call Saul. I'm waking up each day to new Twitter drama, a new catastrophe, and it is putting a massive smile on my face. Elon's been celebrating the active user records they've been hitting recently, and I don't doubt that they're breaking records with active users right now. I imagine there's tons of people just like me signing on every day just to laugh at the state of the site and laugh at all of the impersonation accounts that are all verified now and costing real companies billions of dollars. I'm going to talk about that in a second. It is so wild. And yeah, he's absolutely right about one thing. Comedy is legal again on Twitter. He has unleashed it. The floodgates are open and the goofs are coming in hot. So let's just get right into it. I'm sure a lot of you have seen by now, but maybe some of you haven't, and I can't wait to open your third eye here to true enlightenment. This is trolling to perfection. So Elon Musk announced for $8 a month you can get a verified checkmark. Doesn't matter who you are, it's open to the public, you just have to pay for it. This has also led to some confusion, especially surrounding my personal Twitter account because I'm still verified on there, so a lot of people have been accusing me of being a hypocrite, saying, interesting, you still have a checkmark, clearly paying $8 a month even after you criticized it so heavily. Let me make it clear, I don't pay for Twitter. Like I said, I still believe it's a fucking dumb, brain-dead, dog shit idea to pay $8 a month for a checkmark that's basically a Boy Scout badge for humiliation. I would never do that. It's more shameful to pay for Twitter than it would be to pay for a happy ending at a massage parlor. So no, I'm not paying for Twitter, I still just have the old checkmark on there. Now to get back on track, Twitter Blue has fully launched and it is a colossal flop. It's having a box office performance like The Room here. It is just a fucking failure, it seems. A lot of the numbers that are being reported are all over the place. They range between 100,000 on the low end up to 440,000 on the highest end that I've seen. But let's go ahead and round that up. Let's say there's 500,000 Twitter Blue subscribers, and all of them are paying $8 a month. That's $4 million a month coming into Twitter. That doesn't even cover 2 days of their operating cost, because Elon Musk has claimed Twitter is losing $4 million a day. So through Twitter Blue, they're able to make back 1 day's worth of operating cost. That's it. And that's their monthly subscription. So after a month, they'll be able to pay for 1 day's worth of running Twitter. What a tough pill to swallow, I'm sure. Let that sink in, am I right? Now, of course, this isn't their only source of revenue. They do still have some advertisers, even though a ton of them pulled out, and Elon really seemed to put most of his eggs in this Twitter Blue basket, truly believing that most people would want it. Like, everyone's going to ask for this for Christmas, everyone's going to sign up for the checkmark because that's what's most important to everyone on Twitter, so we'll charge for it. Only it turns out the interest really wasn't as big as he and many others thought that it was. So yeah, that $44 billion that he used to purchase Twitter may have been better spent wiping his own ass with it. He also took out a loan. I believe the loan was $13 billion, according to Bloomberg. And the loan is also going to be something that Elon Musk is probably going to have to make payments on, and those are going to be extremely expensive as well. So at current rate with Twitter Blue, he better pray that Twitter's around for the next 2,000 years, because by then he might finally be able to start making a dent in how much money he owes and how much he has lost on Twitter so far. Yeah, while the number of users may be skyrocketing, that's clearly not translating into money for the company. But god damn it, I am so glad Elon's doing what he's doing right now because it is so entertaining to watch. Twitter Blue has been mainly being used as a tool for impersonation and trolling, and it's done remarkably well. I'm sure a lot of you have seen over the last couple days, one very successful viral post came from someone impersonating Eli Lilly. Some Giga Chad hero out there paid the $8, impersonated Eli Lilly, and said, "We're excited to announce insulin is free now," and then this tanked their stock 3% instantly. Just from one shitpost from someone impersonating them on Twitter with the check mark. Now, of course, my heart isn't breaking for Eli Lilly here. I think what they're doing with the price of insulin is very fucked up and shady, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to laugh at this. Because, my god, this has to be the most expensive troll ever. Fucking beautiful. I actually just wiped out billions of dollars there. Now, there are people that are saying this is just a theory and it might just be a coincidence that that viral tweet from the Eli Lilly impersonator coincided with the stock drop, because apparently there were other market factors that may have led to this drop in stock. I'll go ahead and share that with you now. Now, I'm not smart enough to really opine on whether or not it was the tweet or other market factors here, but I'd like to share all the arguments here from both sides for the evidence. Now, I will say, of course, it's very possible this tweet has no impact on it, and it truly was just a coincidence, but this also wouldn't be the first time a tweet has had massive market effects as well. It's far from unheard of. In fact, Elon Musk himself has even done this a couple of times, where some of his tweets have real implications on the Tesla stock. The most infamous being, "Am considering taking Tesla private at 420. Funding secured." This, of course, had a huge effect on the market for the time, and even resulted in Musk having to pay a $20 million fraud settlement, as well as Tesla paying a $20 million penalty. So these kind of things can result from tweets. It wouldn't be the first time. And Eli Lilly wasn't the only victim. Lockheed Martin also found itself in a tough situation when someone impersonated them on Twitter and made this post. "We will begin halting all weapons sales to Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United States until further investigation into their record of human rights abuses. #WeAreLM. And after this went viral, the Lockheed Martin stock dropped 5%. Now, this of course could be chalked up to yet another coincidence, and a lot of people do believe that's the case, because the entire defense industry was down on this day. So yes, it is very possible that, again, this was just a big coincidence. I do think it'd be a little odd that the same thing happened in two different industries under similar circumstances, and it just happens to be coincidental, but of course, it's also a hard sell to claim that those tweets actually had that huge market effect. There's really no telling, but regardless, it's super entertaining. It seems, most of the people that are buying Twitter Blue are doing it just for this shit, because even if they're not trolling massive companies to cost them billions of dollars, they're making impersonation accounts for people in positions of power and saying really goofy shit like, "Anyone else up right now playing with their Johnson? I've got lotion on my dick right now." And it's all verified accounts from people like Barack Obama, Bernie Sanders. Like, it makes me laugh every time. It actually does. That little check mark and then taking their profile and just mimicking it and then saying shit like that is somehow just a recipe for good laughs from me, as well as many others, which is probably why the usage is at an all-time high. It's just been so entertaining. But unfortunately, Elon Musk must have felt the pressure, because both Eli Lilly and Lockheed Martin have shown that they're really not happy about what's happening on Twitter. Nintendo was also a victim of someone impersonating Nintendo of America and tweeting out a picture of Mario giving everyone the finger. But Elon Musk, in response to all of this, has shut down Twitter Blue for the time being to try and put a halt to all the impersonation. You have to wonder how Elon couldn't see this coming, or how anyone could have possibly convinced themselves this wouldn't happen. If you go back to the videos I made talking about this system and how it would likely be abused, there were so many people huffing copium that saying things like, "No, this wouldn't happen. You think you're as smart as Elon? He's clearly thought of this. There must be fail-safes in place to prevent this from happening." And then bang. The exact thing that everyone knew would happen, happened, and some people are acting shocked about it. This was the most predictable outcome. This is the most predictable situation imaginable that would arise from this system, this Twitter Blue $8 a month system. Everyone who even thought for a single second about this knew this would happen. It doesn't take a galaxy brain intellect to figure this out, yet somehow Elon Musk, as well as I guess many others, for some reason didn't think this would happen. Which is wild. That's just absolutely wild. But it has been so entertaining to watch. I'm really glad he went through with it. So hats off to him for actually pulling the trigger on this dog shit idea. Because fuck, man, it has been so fun. So I just wanted to share all of this with you. I'm excited to see where it goes next. And yeah, that's really about it. See ya. I couldn't have been more wrong. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, I was convinced there really wasn't a lot he could do to make it worse, and he has absolutely slapped me around here and spit in my face, letting me know that no, it always could get worse. I already made a video talking about his $8 a month for the check mark on Twitter, his verification, his pay-to-win opinion scheme where you can pay $8 a month to have your check mark and you get priority in the search and replies and all that. I already talked about that at length. The main takeaway there is I just find that to be really embarrassing. To publicly display that you pay for a service like Twitter is more shameful than letting people know that you pay for furry porn. So I just thought that would be a little Boy Scout badge people would always point and laugh at you for, and that was the worst thing about it. I just thought it was silly. Especially because you don't even get an ad-free experience. You're paying $8 a month and he says you only get half as many ads, which is just a fat L. Imagine paying a monthly subscription and still getting ads. Yucky. But today, Elon Musk actually made a much more concerning announcement regarding this new program, where if you don't pay $8 a month for Twitter, if you try and use Twitter for free, as it's always been, you're basically shadow banned. At least, that's how it sounds coming from his mouth. Your replies aren't really going to be seen. He says verbatim, you'll have to scroll far to see unverified users, which sounds like going forward, you'll need to cough up $8 a month in order to have a voice. To anyone with their brain even remotely functioning properly, you'll recognize this is the exact opposite of free speech, which he claims to champion for the platform. But I'm just going to publicly beg all Elon Musk meat riders to hop off his cock for just a few seconds here, put away your little sausage fingers before writing your comment about how upset you are that I insulted your savior, and just listen. Just join me on a magic school bus ride through this absolutely terrible idea and why this is such a fucking outrageous program.
So how do you prevent the use of the N-word? We should be able to figure out with software how to moderate this and prevent that from happening. Is that true or not?
What I'm trying to achieve with this sort of enabling everyone to be payment verified with Twitter Blue is to try to get as many people payment verified as possible. It's only $8 a month, although for some people that were complaining about that, and these are people who pay more than that for their latte.
Elon was asked his strategy for combating hate speech, racism, anti-Semitism, all that, and he brought up the payment subscription plan as a way of fighting against it. But I wanted to highlight this part here where he compares the price of a Starbucks latte to the subscription plan, because he loves this one. This is for some reason like his smoking gun. He's already posted this dank meme about it, so this is pretty much his anime signature finishing move. This is his Kamehameha. He really thinks this is just a checkmate, like, so you'll pay $8 for a Starbucks latte and it only lasts you 30 minutes, but you'll cry about $8 a month for Twitter and it lasts you 30 days. Curious. So you'll pay $8 for a drink and it only lasts you a couple of minutes, but you're gonna go ahead and whine and throw a temper tantrum for the same price for having a voice on a shithole platform? Very interesting. I'm not a Starbucks enjoyer. I don't like Starbucks. I don't go there. Maybe the drinks are overpriced. Couldn't tell you. But that's neither here nor there. This is just like a gotcha moment that a child would think is clever. Like, Mom, Dad, why won't you buy me the new Call of Duty game? We spend more on groceries every week, and this is just a one-time purchase. And some of those groceries are so yucky, like broccoli and shit. We're paying more for that than Call of Duty, so just get me Call of Duty. Or back in the day when streaming services first started popping off, streaming service to nutbutt.com is only $6 a month. That's less than a single meal from Burger King. It's just so silly. You're comparing things that aren't even comparable. You're comparing food to a checkmark on Twitter. Like, it's just, it's so dumb. I also see a lot of people bastardizing what free speech means in order to fit their own personal image of Elon Musk as the Messiah. People are saying, this is just how it's supposed to be. Twitter's like this big public bulletin board where anyone can go up and post something on it, but now you can pay to post something bigger on it on top of those. And I guess you're not, like, wrong, but why is that something that's good? In fact, this is the exact thing people were upset about before Elon's takeover, talking about silencing their voice where more powerful, more wealthy outlets were overshadowing their side of things and their opinions. And now it's just like a blatant system that celebrates that fact. And for some reason, because it's Elon, they're like, oh no, this is good now.
Part of it's revenue, part of it is payment authentication. And so if somebody, because there is a huge problem with spam and bots and trolls on Twitter, and organizations trying to manipulate public opinion. But if we can get enough verified users, and we're going to prioritize Twitter search, replies, mentions by verified users first.
This is not news. He made this very clear with his initial post saying like the benefits of the checkmark going forward, which is priority in these places. But what wasn't clear is not only are they getting priority, but the people that don't pay for it are getting fundamentally shadow banned. And he's going to go a little further on that in just a moment here, but I just wanted to point out that's not new. He made this clear that by paying for it, you are going to have the benefit of being, you know, the superstar of every single post you ever make, I suppose. People will see that you pay $8 a month for Twitter, they'll give you a thumbs up and start throwing roses and blowing kisses your way for such a great financial decision. This isn't any new information, but I just want to again let everyone know that this is the value that they're paying for $8 a month on Twitter.
With blue checkmark, then you're prioritized, and hateful conduct pays. But if somebody risks losing even $8, the net effect will be over time that the verified users will pretty much always be at the top of comments and search, and you won't really see. You'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
So if something we don't want to see, it gets pushed way down.
Yeah, just the basic.
I promise you, if this was announced before Elon Musk's takeover, there would be nobody defending it. But the fact that Elon Musk has people that would throw themselves in front of a fucking moving train if it meant saving Elon's reputation, they're doing the most incredible mental gymnastics to try and spin this as a positive thing, which it's not. This goes against free speech. Plain and simple. It absolutely does. If you don't pay, you don't have a voice. It's as simple as that. What he's describing here, where you just get pushed to the bottom and you really won't be seen, that's called shadow banning, and it's something everybody hates because it's just downright wrong. It's fucking evil. And he's celebrating it like, oh, if you're not paying me, if you don't have that check mark, you're not going to be seen. That's not a flex. That's not something people will wiggle their finger about with a smile on their face. That is a Wumbo-sized box of ass right there. What a load of shit. It's so dumb. And another fundamental misunderstanding Elon Musk can't wrap his brain around is the fact that there are people that aren't bots, aren't trolls, that won't pay $8 a month. He says you won't see from these unverified users, that's the bots and the trolls. So in his mind, the only unverified users are bots and trolls. He can't comprehend that there's going to be real people with real voices that either can't afford $8 a month or just don't want to pay $8 a month. But he still just throws them down just like, oh no, they're beneath us. Those are bots and trolls. Those unverified users, not real people.
And you won't really see, you'll have to scroll far to see the unverified users, which will be the bots and trolls and whatnot.
When this was initially announced, I thought this would just be like what verification used to mean, like just confirming there's a real person behind the keyboard. But it's not that anymore. It's confirming it's a real person behind the keyboard, and now it's the only way to have a voice. You can't be a free user anymore, at least not one that gets seen. So if you're posting Twitter to like talk to friends or engage in conversation with people that you like, and you're a free user, there's a good chance they won't see it because it'll get drowned out by the verified users. So fundamentally, you just get pushed out of your own circles by the priority of the verified accounts. When he announced this, he tried to portray it as like power to the people, but all it is power to the people that pay. So it's even more so benefiting and only benefiting the people that are wealthy enough to afford an $8 subscription to an absolute fucking hemorrhoid like Twitter, and just completely slaps everyone who can't afford that or won't pay for it. I also don't necessarily seeing it being effective at stopping scams, spam, or hate speech, because he even mentions, you know, people will pay for it and we'll just ban them. It's significantly cheaper now to pay $8 a month for a checkmark than it was for scammers and all of that prior. It was like 15 grand if you bought like a hacked verified account to promote your scam. It was far more expensive. So all of those scammers that were verified and scamming are now able to do it cheaper and probably more often because it's such a lower price point for them now. So I don't see it even stopping that. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. The way he describes it, though, really does seem like as a free user, you basically can't exist on Twitter, at least not in any meaningful way with your current circles or making posts. They just won't get seen because all the verified accounts are going to be above you everywhere, not just in the comments, but also in the search. So I don't know how people are even going to find unverified accounts anymore. So yeah, that's the latest update here from this awful idea from Elon. As I've mentioned numerous times now, I really wouldn't mind if Twitter shut down just in general. I think it would be a net positive to the whole fucking world if that were the case. And this does seem like it's a push in that direction. I feel like there's not a ton of people that'll pay $8 a month to be verified, but I just don't know. I really don't. I'm not paying $8 a month for it, I can promise you that much, but I guess we'll have to see how popular the system becomes, but regardless, it is legitimately against free speech, no matter what happens. It is just a fucked up idea. So, that's about it. See ya. I just wasn't strong enough. I couldn't do it. I couldn't fight the urge, exercise the demon that was compelling me to talk about Elon Musk making a clown of himself again. I told myself, like as a pre-New Year's resolution, to stop talking so much about all of the Twitter dog shittery that's been going on and how wacky and wild it's all been over there, because I've already made so many videos talking about it, but it just keeps getting more and more wacky. And I'm drawn to wackiness like a moth to a flame, so I couldn't stop myself. I'm just like a junkie who fell off the wagon again, scratching at my neck, and I needed my fix. I couldn't help myself. I just have to talk about the most recent development in the never-ending soap opera of Elon Musk and Twitter. I'm sure you saw yesterday, Twitter made a statement about an upcoming policy change where they would no longer be allowing promotional links to competing websites. They initially said that if the purpose is to drive traffic away from Twitter into the other sites, you can't do that anymore. We're putting the kibosh on it. The fist is coming down. But it was vaguely written to the point where it could be interpreted in a lot of different ways and caused mass hysteria, like an actual panic, because they even mentioned Linktree by name, which is something a lot of people use to like put their links to other places. So by having it be so vague, it made it feel like if you just link to competing websites, you could face punishment, be banned for it. So that obviously raised a lot of people's red flags because it sounded cutthroat, like absolutely brutal. Twitter just seemed like they were putting these walls up to keep everyone trapped in the insane asylum. It reminds me of like a competing student council president in middle school where he's like, my opponent over there absolutely stinks. He sucks eggs, and if you go to any of his functions, you're not allowed at any of my functions. It just felt like a temper tantrum almost to try and prevent people from linking elsewhere. Like even having that statement at the end where it says follow me on and then dropping your Instagram handle would be a bannable offense. Like that is alarming. So obviously the backlash was huge, and this is one of the very few things I've ever seen that has unified everyone of all sides to come together and hate it equally. Even the biggest throat goat Musk meat swallowers were choking on this wiener here. This news made even them upset. Everyone came out against this. It was like a galactic threat in the Marvel universe where the villains start working together with the heroes to defeat the common evil. This was a big moment, and the backlash actually got some results. They seem to have backpedaled on the policy. They deleted the initial post with all of this in there, which is a great thing. I'm glad they decided to bury this and hopefully never try something similar. They were receptive to the feedback because there was a ton of feedback, so I'm glad they implemented that change quickly. But this is where we get to the wackiest part of the story. Shortly after this huge debacle, Elon Musk made a post saying that from now on major changes will be pulled, which reminds me of like old school RuneScape system where they pull like even the most minor fucking changes and leave it up to the community to decide, which I think is a good thing overall. But it then went to Elon Musk polling something else. Elon Musk polled whether or not he should stay head of Twitter. And good golly, I tell ya, I don't know if these were the results he was hoping for, but this is where we're at. 57.5% have said yes, he should step down as the head of Twitter. This is big. I'll tell you where I stand here. I don't think he should step down as the head of Twitter because then I wouldn't have as much to laugh at every single day. I also don't think he should be able to bail out of this sinking ship, at least not in the public eye. I think he should absolutely continue running Arkham Asylum. I don't think he should be able to get the free ticket out. He should absolutely have to stand by this product now. Plus, he's still obviously going to have a huge say-so in the company's direction. It's just he'll no longer be the public punching bag for it. He's going to dump that responsibility on some other poor soul. I've talked about this before, and it seems a lot of people must have flown under their radar. But this doesn't actually mean anything either. Elon Musk has been actively looking for a CEO since purchasing this fucking pile of shit anyway. I think a lot of people seem to have forgot that last month he did make a statement that he's looking for a new CEO of Twitter anyway. So this poll really feels pretty fucking useless when he's already planning on not being the CEO for much longer regardless. This feels like some kind of PR play to be like, okay, the people have spoken and I care so much about democracy, I will actually be stepping down and here's your new CEO. Even though that was his plan from the beginning. But I actually think this is a lot more shameful. Like, this isn't exactly the best PR play because if he does step down now and get that new CEO up, it's going to be like, yeah, okay, you guys didn't like me, and then you like kick sand, so maybe you'll like this guy more. I think that's infinitely more pathetic than if you had just gone out like the traditional way saying, okay, I've done enough here, here's your new CEO. But instead, it now looks like you're leaving because people threw too many fucking tomatoes at you. You got too many boos. That 90% cheers and 10% boos, I guess, wasn't necessarily accurate. This, I think, is just a much sadder way of departing, especially considering you had already had plans to get a new CEO in there pretty soon. It's just a very silly and wacky twist to this story here that I, of course, had to talk about, because how could I not? This is goofiness. This is prime goofiness, like, the essence of it, like, right in the palm of our hands. Of course I was going to speak about it, even though I had already kind of sworn off this hard drug of talking about Elon Musk and Twitter's silliness. I just couldn't help it for this one. I had to make a special exception. So that's where we're at right now. Not sure when or even if Elon Musk will be stepping down anytime super soon, but it's definitely worth mentioning that this is going on because, man, it is just a never-ending ride of fun and thrills. That's about it. See ya. The day of reckoning is upon us. The Armageddon the Bible warned us about has finally come true. The demon of Dogecoin has taken over Twitter, and he's already made some massive changes internally. It took only a matter of minutes with Elon Musk at the top of the Twitter food chain for him to let WrestleMania run wild and start firing people, including 3 top Twitter executives, the CEO, the CFO, and the chief legal officer. All of them were immediately just let go by Musk. Now, of course, they're not leaving without some compensation. They're getting a lot of money in this firing, but even still, he just took 3 of the top executives and just said, pack your bags, you're going home. But before I get into those changes, I want to go over the reception to this news because I've already seen some wacky tantrums being thrown about it, and overall, people are more divided than my butt cheeks on how to feel about all this. So I want to give my perspective right away. I'll toss my take out there. I think this is just going to be a huge nothing burger that most people are going to forget about in 2 weeks because there's not going to be any meaningful, noticeable difference in the platform itself with Elon Musk at the helm. I think the problem with Twitter isn't necessarily a platform problem, it's a people problem. It's just fucking dumb, stupid idiots on there, and since everyone has a voice that's amplified because of just how big Twitter is, those things gain steam, gain traction, and then you have people always arguing with each other over the stupidest shit. Biff Cheeseburger over here is talking about how women are sexually abused because it's their own fault for what they're wearing, and then that ends in like a giant viral conflict where people are somehow debating this as if there was ever even like a legitimate argument in the first place, besides just the incoherent ramblings of a raving lunatic. So I don't even think the biggest problem with Twitter is with the platform itself. It really feels to me like the main issue is just the people. Twitter is a more toxic place than Chernobyl. Twitter is like the modern age equivalent of using asbestos in everyday life, just slowly killing your brain cells instead. It's just awful. And I don't know what Elon Musk could possibly do to make it better, but I also don't think there's anything he could do to make it worse. I think currently Twitter is in the worst possible state it could be, and even if he starts unbanning accounts, I don't see that somehow making the platform worse. Like, it really feels like it's genuinely rock bottom, like the bedrock in hell itself. So really, the only way to go is up from here, but I just don't see it happening. I can't imagine a world where all of a sudden Twitter rallies and becomes a positive force for good in the world. But maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe Elon Musk has some grand vision for the platform that I'm too stupid to see. Though I highly doubt that he has any plan at all besides he thought it'd be a fun joke and he wipes his ass with $40 billion, so why not buy it? So anyway, that's my whole take on it. Oh, I will say though, as I've been very upfront in the past, I'm not a huge Elon Musk fan. I'm not like a diehard Musketeer or whatever the super fans call themselves. or the cult-like following he has with crypto bros who huff copium every single day, replying to all of his tweets, praying that he'll at least give them a crumb of attention to try and save their dying shitcoin. Yeah, overall, I'm just not really an Elon Musk supporter, and even I don't think this is going to somehow plummet Twitter into an even deeper shithole status, but some people really seem to think so. I won't go through a ton of them. In fact, I really only want to look at one. Most of the responses were very pretentious and exaggerated about how this is like going to ruin the entirety of society. This is going to plunge us into a deeper divide, and everything's ruined now that Elon Musk has Twitter. But the one I want to focus on is one that I saw floating around all over the place, and it said, "The gates of hell opened on this site tonight." As if they weren't already. There are pedophiles using Twitter openly. Zoophiles that get viral posts talking about how zoophile acceptance is important. Twitter is already the gates of hell, and we are constantly taking a look into the abyss. That's not going to change with Elon Musk at the helm now. It's not like it was in a good state before Elon Musk. It's not like Elon Musk came in here like a burglar in the night and stole the crown jewel of society. He basically came in here like a garbage man and swept up a pile of dog shit and kept it to himself. Nothing is really much worse right now. I don't know what this journalist who made the tweet was seeing. I don't know where they were that all of a sudden Elon Musk taking over suddenly sprung forth all kinds of foul miasma that just spread throughout all of Twitter like a plague. It's exactly the fucking same. The only thing that has changed is internally, and they are big internal changes. By firing these top executives, he's sending a message that he's just gonna run this shit with an iron fist, and he's been very adamant about making Twitter more welcoming to free speech and less censorship. I'm not a fan of censorship, I've made that clear. I have an overall dislike for censorship, so it's not like I'm exactly crying over him firing people that were very for it. So him firing these people doesn't make me upset. It seems to have made other people upset, which surprises me considering most people don't like the state of Twitter pre-Musk anyway. So I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to change course and experiment with other options to make Twitter somehow marginally better. He said in a Twitter post that he's going to be forming a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints and that no major content decisions or account reinstatements will happen before the council convenes. And so far, this is the only strategy he's revealed publicly with this team that he's going to be setting up. And I guess we'll see how it all plays out. I, again, don't think this is going to lead to any massive changes, positive or negative, to the user experience on Twitter or the platform as a whole. I guess we'll see, though. I'm always up to be pleasantly surprised. Well, if it's positive. So yeah, that's about it. See ya. I'm usually not one to believe in the paranormal. However, I've recently been convinced that there's one man that's being haunted and possessed by a bad take demon. And if you're a fan of sports, you know exactly who I'm going to talk about. When you hear the word bad take, one image and one name pops into your head. Skip Bayless. He's been around for a long time. When I was a huge sports fan, I used to watch him and his shows as well. However, I don't much anymore. Now I just kind of see the viral clips of his most awful brain-dead opinions that are usually just way off the mark, or him just cosplaying as LeBron James boxers so he could hold his meat. I can't decide if he truly believes half the shit he talks about, because some of it's just blatantly wrong or just weird. So I don't know if he says it for the sake of shock and controversy for views, or if he really is just an android that's powered by awful sports takes, like he's algorithmically programmed to deliver horrible sports opinions. But last night, this reached the boiling point when he dropped this stinker. This tweet, I believe, is the highest ratioed tweet on the entire site. I haven't been able to find anything that has a stronger, fatter L+ ratio here anywhere. Now, before diving into what made this tweet so hated, I'll give context around it in case you're unfamiliar with the situation that it's in reference to. Last night in the Bills vs. Bengals game, a player for the Bills named Damar Hamlin was making a tackle and he got hit in the chest, and when he got up off of making the tackle off the ground, he collapsed. Medical personnel attended to him for about 10 minutes performing CPR before he was taken away to a hospital. His condition was unknown, but it was very scary to see that. Most people were afraid they had just watched this young man die on the field from this, and it was just a really horrifying situation all around. Of course, a ton of people from all over went on Twitter to talk about it as well as offer prayers, hoping for a full recovery for Damar Hamlin. And then there was Skip Bayless, who went on Twitter with 2 tweets that weren't anything bad, just kind of talking about what was happening and like how serious it was. But then on his 3rd tweet, something went awry. Some wires got crossed in the old dusty brain of Skip Bayless. This was not a 3rd time's the charm situation here. He let the bad take devil out to play. And that's when he dropped this tweet. This poorly worded masterpiece is what's getting dunked on right now. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Now let me break down why this was hated so widely, because when I talked about it on stream, there was a few people that were confused by it, which in turn confused me at their confusion, and it just became this fucking degenerate cycle of spitting confusion at each other's mouths like 2 girls, 1 cup. So, the reason why most people, including myself, found this to be a dumb tweet is because of how callous it reads. It feels more like Skip Bayless is focusing on the importance of the game rather than Damar Hamlin's health. Instead of being concerned for Damar Hamlin here, he's more concerned about the game. And since it's an important one, they're considering postponing it, but how? That's a tough thing to do. Which he's not wrong about. Postponing and suspending a game is not an easy decision to make, and it is an important game, but that really isn't what's most important here. And when you read this tweet, it feels like he's saying that the game is what's most important. And that last line where he says, which suddenly seems so irrelevant, well, that little zinger had more interpretations than a Rorschach painting. So some people are saying this is Skip Bayless saying that, the game's important, but now it's not because of Hamlin, so he is putting focus on Hamlin. But the majority of people read that as Skip Bayless being disappointed that the focus is no longer the game. Oh, this game is so important, the magnitude, it's crucial to the regular season, and postponing it, how? It's such an important, crucial game to be played, but now it just suddenly seems irrelevant. Like, it sounds like he's disappointed that the Hamlin injury has taken the focus off of the game. So his tweet is to put it back on the game. It's a poorly worded, jumbled thought here that reads badly and reads very callous. And it doesn't even, do anything. He's just talking about the difficulty of rescheduling or postponing a game. And he's not wrong. It is hard. But what the fuck is the point here? Why even mention this? Everyone knows it's not an easy decision to make on whether or not to suspend a game in a situation like this. That offered nothing, and it just seemed like you cared more about the game than Hamlin. He did then drop this apology tweet. Nothing is more important than that young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if it was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I prayed for him and will continue to do so. This one rubbed me the wrong way. This one grinded my ass. This is a little petty, but he's saying sorry if it was misunderstood. Just take responsibility. You poorly worded it. Don't say, I'm sorry you guys didn't understand my wise words, my sage wisdom. I'm sorry it went over your head with what I was really saying. Just be like, yeah, I didn't word my thought properly. Because it is just poorly worded. It is just not worded correctly. If your point is all of this isn't relevant now because we should all care more about Hamlin's health than the outcome of this game, then you should have made that more clear, because the way it reads is that the game is more important than Hamlin's health. Which is obviously why Skip Bayless became a public toilet for everyone to shit in last night. Now, to give an update on Damar Hamlin's condition, as of right now, the most recent update, his vitals are back to normal, but he remains sedated. So things are trending in the right direction. The official statement for what happened here is he suffered cardiac arrest following that hit, and that's what was going on. So it's just a very scary situation overall. He remains in critical condition as of right now, but with his vitals being normal, things seem to be stepping in the right direction, so hopefully everything continues to improve for Hamlin's condition. Now, I do want to mention something wholesome that's happened in the face of all of this awfulness. Damar Hamlin had a charity that was doing a toy drive, and after this hit, they've raised over $3 million for that charity. So I just really thought this was something very positive from the community to come together to show support for Hamlin. So I definitely wanted to mention that. Overall, Skip Bayless does what he does best, make a fucking fool of himself. The tweet was horribly worded. I don't not believe him that he cares about Hamlin's health more than the game. I feel like you'd have to be a real evil son of a bitch to actually think the game is somehow more important than Hamlin's life. So it's not like I think that he's lying about what his intentions with the tweet were, but it's just so poorly worded, as are most of his thoughts throughout his entire career. So that's why he got dunked on. It is just still a shit tweet overall, and that's now become part of Twitter history as, I believe, the most ratioed tweet to ever exist. At the very least, the hardest ratio of 2023, and we're already kicking it off in a big way here with that one. That's going to be a tough ratio to beat. That's about it. So, yep.